Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. If you're new here, I do makeup reviews, makeup tutorials, skincare, anything beauty related. I got you covered. Today's video, I'm so excited to try this out with you guys. I put an order in on Camera Ready Cosmetics maybe 2 weeks ago or something, and they were having like 15% off on the entire website. They carry Danessa Myricks. So I was like, oh, perfect opportunity to try some things. Now, Danessa Myricks does occasionally run sales on her website. I haven't seen any recently, and usually her sales are a little bit higher, but I haven't seen any recently. And really quick before I forget, if you go to the website and you sign up just to join their email, you subscribe, they send you, I think it's a 10% or 15% off. I don't remember which one it is, but you do get that initial discount. It does expire though, so make sure you see when when it expires. And then whenever you make a purchase, they send you, I think, a 10% off discount, and I think it's for about a week, and then again that also expires. I'm just letting you know that in case you want to stock up or something. So anyways, so I saw that Camera Ready Cosmetics had their Power Bronzer, which is something that I've been very curious about, so I picked it up. And yeah, so we're gonna try it today, and I guess I'll kind of try to compare it to the Balm Contour. So I'm excited. All right, this bronzer comes only in 3 shades. So I ended up going with the shade Deep. Now hear me out on it, okay? I know it's dark. She's dark. The shade Light, I honestly feel like it was probably lighter than my skin tone. So I'm like, that's not gonna work. And then I saw Medium, and I feel like Medium might have worked for me, but I still felt like it was kind of close to my skin tone. Now, in about 2 months, I'll be outside more often. I'm going to get a lot of color. I can get, I would say, maybe 2 to 3 shades darker than what I am now. So I'm like, okay, clearly that's not going to work. So the other option that I had was Deep. Now, I'm going to swatch these for you guys up close, and I'm going to swatch it heavy, and I'm going to swatch it I'm going to blend it out so you could see how it can kind of be sheared down. I did this already because I was filming swatches for Instagram, and I'm like, okay, I'm more confident in it now. I think I can make it work. So, you know what, let's cut into swatches and then let's come back. All right, so first we have the Danessa Myricks Power Bronzer in the shade Deep. And this is what it looks like. And if you see, let me show you something. It's got a very whipped texture, very creamy. If I touch it, a little bit goes a very long way. There you go. There you can see the texture. So I'm gonna swatch it here. That's a pretty heavy swatch, but now I'm gonna blend it out. And that's the bronzy color. So let's try it out and see. All right, so you see the swatches. I know it looks dark, but like I said, when I blended it out, it looked a little more wearable. Again, keep in mind, I am gonna get darker in a couple of months. So I don't see what the purpose is in buying something that's close to my skin tone now if I'm not gonna use it much. You know what I mean? Maybe, next winter or something, I'll go with the medium shade. I'll see. This shade just kind of called my attention a little bit more. So I don't have any foundation on. I just prepped my skin. So let me throw on some foundation. I'm going to fast forward it so I don't bore you with it. And if you're curious, before I fast forward it, I'm going to be using the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover. I have 2 samples of it. I'm going to mix the shade 4.5 a little bit with 4. They're both the N4.5 and N4. So I'm going to fast forward this for you. All right. If you're looking for a full coverage foundation, highly recommend the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover. It's really nice. You saw I only dotted like 2 little bits. I mix it. That's enough for my entire face. And I usually dilute it with the beauty oil. I didn't today because I literally just prepped my skin, and I prepped it with the Jones Road Miracle Cream, and that's very, like, it's very emollient, so it made the foundation kind of blend a little bit easier. But full coverage foundation, beautiful foundation. Depending on what you prep your skin with, you can either kind of make it go matte or you can make it go dewy. So if you do like a mattifying primer, it'll dry down more matte. For myself, because the moisturizer I use is very emollient, and because I prefer a dewier finish, it'll just stay like this all day, like this kind of really pretty dewiness. Okay, so foundation is done. Let's go in to the bronzer. Let me grab a brush first. I'm not sure what kind of brush to go with, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'll show you Balm Contour on this side, and I'll do the Power Bronzer on this side, and then I'll kind of blend it through. Because I know one of the questions I'm going to get is, well, what's the difference between the Balm Contour and the Power Bronzer? Right off the bat, Balm Contour comes in a ton of shades, from the fairest to the deepest. Balm Contour, in my personal opinion, tends to lean a little warm in like the light medium shades. Once it gets into the deeper shades, I personally feel like, from what I've seen, it gets cooler, which I think is great. But I almost feel like this could double up as almost a contour bronzer for my skin tone. It does a beautiful job for contouring as well, but it does tend to lean a little bit warm, okay? So I have this shade in medium 1, and just from what I saw online as far as the bronzers went, the medium shade was lighter than this. So that's why I wasn't really convinced. It could have been the photography or the pictures that they had on their website, but in my personal opinion, I just feel like it was not as deep as I needed it to be for my skin tone. So I'll show you guys. I'll put some of this on this cheek just so you could see. But you know what? Actually, I'll swatch it side by side for you. So this is medium 1. And the Power Bronzer, I'm gonna swipe it kind of like sheer too. Well, that's not very sheer, but I could make it go sheer. This is the medium 1 bronzer. I'm sorry, this is the deep bronzer. You see how this one's, it's cooler than this one. You follow what I'm saying? Like this, I would feel like it's almost like a creamy bronzer, you know? All right. Wow, that Power Bronzer is no joke. That has a ton of pigment in it. No joke. All right. So I'm going to go in with the Balm Contour first on this side, just so you guys could see what's going on. Now, I don't see why you can't use both, being that this is meant to be a contour and then throw the bronzer on top just to kind of bronze it up, give more warmth or, you know, a little more definition. So that's the Balm Contour. I'm just going to blend it. So you see how it definitely gives some definition, right? But the color is just, it's just a little warm for me. Maybe I picked the wrong color. Who knows? But now let's try the Power Bronzer on this side. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up just a little bit, and I'm going to work off the back of my hand, because if I go straight into my face, it's definitely going to be too much. So now the finishes of these two products are slightly different. The Power Bronzer is supposed to dry down, I think, like semi-matte or kind of more satin or matte finish versus the Balm Contour. So you see how I put that on, and I put on a light amount, but if I pull back, you could see there's definition, and there's, you know, it's doing something. Let me see, I'm gonna put my brush in there ever so like slightly, or ever so lightly. Oh yeah, that picked up a decent amount. Okay, maybe I'll put some up here. And as I'm blending it, it's definitely warming up my skin nicely. Again, you can go really heavy with these products or you can go light with them, depending on what your comfort level is. My comfort level is like, I want my makeup to look more on the softer side, light, more on the natural side. I don't want you guys to ever see like a stripe or like a harsh contour. That's not my makeup style. And what I like about her products are that you really can manipulate the finish, the coverage. If you want to go a little bit, you know, heavier, you can. If you don't want to go heavier, don't. So this was the Balm Contour. Now let's go over top with the bronzer. Again, for my skin tone at the moment, the best option is to get it, put on the back of my hand, pick it up with a brush, and kind of work off of that way. I definitely think both products can be used together. And I'm using this more as a bronzer. I'm not necessarily sticking it in the hollows of my cheeks. I'm just trying to kind of warm up my face. And I do find that it's blending out nicely. That's the thing I like about DanessaMyricks products, is they blend out very, very nice. All right. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier just to build it up, because I'm curious to see how bronzy we can get. So I'm going to just layer on a little bit more. Do you see how, like, even though that shade, I mean, it's meant to be one for somebody who's a deeper, rich skin tone, but I could still kind of pull it off, because like I said, I didn't want to get something that was going to be too close to my skin tone, because then I'm not going to use it. But we're making it work. So let me even myself out on the other side. I am using a stippling brush. I'm sorry, I didn't mention that. This is the one from e.l.f. It's the small stippling brush. This brush is amazing. It is one of my favorite e.l.f. brushes. Highly recommend. If you don't have it in your makeup kit, get it. It's about $3. I have about 5 of these that I keep on like rotation. So there you have it. I think it looks really nice. This is it kind of blended out onto the back of my hand, because I was working off of my hand. So you can have it this sheer, or you can definitely build it up. I've seen Danessa use it on models that were deeper, rich skin tone, and it just looked amazing. So I think it's really nice. I think it's actually easy to work with. Some cream bronzers are a little bit difficult to blend out. I found that this is actually easy to use. A little bit, a tiny bit, goes an extremely long way. Do not pick up too much, because then you're going to be sitting there like, oh my goodness. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is waterproof. It's long wear, it's waterproof, so, you know, take your time with it. It's beautiful. Definitely worth checking out. I like it. And I believe it was about $26. Her products, I would say her price range is pretty reasonable. You get a ton of color payoff. You get long wear, you get, like, it's just easy to blend. They're easy to work with. You know, sometimes when you start to get, like, products that are, like, for professional makeup artists or makeup artists, there's, like, a learning curve. And I honestly feel like with her stuff, you know, some things you gotta learn. You gotta, like, dilute a little bit, or you have to use a little bit of it. but for the most part, I think anybody could use it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. I have a ton of more of DanessaMyricks products that I purchased that I'm going to be sprinkling in through my regular reviews to kind of fill you guys in. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.